birthplace of the blues, this majestic stainless steel arch has become a world-famous symbol, proclaiming St. Louis as the gateway to the West. 3 weeks ago, the road to the Final Four began with 65 teams hoping to end up in historic Route 66 right by St. Louis. It's a journey that, like the mighty Mississippi itself, rife with unforeseen bends and unpredictable turns. And today, in this colorful riverfront city, no one's singing the blues, but there is plenty of spirit all around the city of St. Louis. Hi, everyone. I'm Greg Gumbel. Welcome to the Final Four show and to CBS Sports' 24th year as the exclusive home of the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Tournament. Last weekend, 4 teams advanced in thrillers to set up a Final Four that promises to be memorable. In the first national semifinal, it's Louisville against Illinois, and our second national semi features Michigan State taking on North Carolina. And on Monday night, one team will take possession of this precious prize, the NCAA Championship Trophy. Joining me now, as always, my tournament partners, Clark Kellogg and Seth Davis of Sports Illustrated. 13th time the state of Missouri has hosted the Final Four. This one will not disappoint.
No, it certainly won't. Great matchups on tap, Greg, when you look at these teams today. The teams that are about to play Louisville and Illinois clearly in game prep mode. The other teams, North Carolina and Michigan State, still trying to relax the minds and the bodies.
Always a fascinating combination of nerves and excitement at a Final Four. I'm always interested to see which teams are a little bit too hyped up at the start of the game. In that sense, Illinois might be at a little bit of a disadvantage because their coach, Bruce Weber, is the only coach here who has not been to a Final Four before.
All right, speaking of super hype, that's us. We'll try to tone it down. Coming up on the Final Four show from St. Louis, Taekwon Dean and Francisco Garcia of Louisville share a bond that transcends the game. Carolina's Rashad McCants. A little while ago, we showed you Illinois beginning to arrive. You knew the Louisville Cardinals wouldn't be far behind. There is head coach Rick Pitino. He and his Cardinals arriving here at the Edward Jones Dome as they prepare to take on the University of Illinois. And just a few moments ago, our Bonnie Bernstein caught up with a couple of the Fighting Illini, Dee Brown and Darren Williams.
Of the 5 great guards we have in this matchup today, the one who kind of sticks out is Louisville's Francisco Garcia, just because he's 6'7". He's got that size, those long arms. How does that come into play when you're matching up on him?
You just got to try to limit his looks, crowd him, get up in him, and just, try to contain him.
Dee, I have to ask you about all of the fans here at practice yesterday, just because Illinois is the closest city by far and away, more than anybody else. How do you see home court advantage today in this game?
I just think our fans do a great job of following us. I mean, they're great fans. Like I said, some of the best fans in America. I just feel that with a lot of them in the stands today, they're going to get loud.
You're 2 wins shy of 38 victories. No other college basketball team's done that. But still, throughout the season, you know you've had your detractors. How important is winning both games this weekend to creating one of the best seasons ever for you?
It'd just be the perfect ending. We've had a great season so far. We've got to the Final Four, but we're just not going to stop playing basketball now that we're here. We still have goals to win a national championship.
Thanks, guys.
And thank you, Bonnie. Michigan State coach Tom Izzo knows what it takes to win the national championship.
And welcome to St. Louis. College basketball's biggest stage. As a 12-time veteran of this event, I can assure you that what you're about to experience is nothing like you have ever felt before. Today, you join the class of a select few that know what it feels like to take that floor. Some who have worked equally as hard as you have never gotten this far. So savor the moment. Make it worth every drop of your blood, your sweat, and your tears. You've earned the right to be here. You've earned the right to be called one of the best. But only one will earn the title of champion. So men, your work has really just begun. Getting to St. Louis is what you've thought about all season. But now that you're here, what you should think about is how you want to leave St. Louis.
Carolina by 6, they're bound for St. Louis. Illinois in overtime, the game is over, and they're heading for the Final Four. The march to the arch belongs to Michigan State.
The title of champion is out there. Make it yours.
bird's eye view of the 205-foot-high Edward Jones Dome here in St. Louis, courtesy of Monster. Today's the day. And we do thank Hall of Fame coach John Wooden for gracing us with his remarks on the 30th anniversary of his record 10th national championship and his retirement. We're closing in on tip-off for the first national semifinal between Louisville and Illinois. Both teams are led by their guards. Illinois has 3 standouts at that position: Dee Brown, Darren Williams, and Luther Head. And Louisville's backcourt tandem of Taekwon Dean and Francisco Garcia, Seth, is a big reason why the Cardinals are here as well.
They are. And
CBS Sports presentation of the Final Four show is sponsored by DiGiorno. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno. UPS, what can Brown do for you? And by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back to the Edward Jones Dome, St. Louis, Missouri. 2 games tonight. The winner gets a chance to play again on Monday night. Let's talk about what these teams need to do in order to be successful. Let's start with the Louisville Cardinals.
Well, Louisville has out-rebounded the opponents they've played in the tournament by 10 rebounds a game. They've been dominant on the glass. They've also dominated at the foul line. Those 2 areas have to still go in their favor for them to have a chance against Illinois.
yeah, for Louisville to win, I'm really putting it on Ellis Miles. I talked to the Louisville coaches this week. We know Ellis Miles is a great rebounder and he's a terrific passer, but they want him to be a scorer. They want Illinois to have to worry about him in the paint, so they can't just lock up those guards. Ellis Miles is going to have to score tonight, Greg.
All right, now, Illinois, you've said it over and over, Clark. The Illini have won in a number of different ways this season. How are they going to have to do it tonight?
Well, I think they got to do it with their defense. They've really got to take Louisville out of their rhythm offensively. They're one of the best shooting teams in the country. They shoot the 3, they penetrate and pitch and get high-quality shots at the point of attack. Illinois has to really try to lock them up defensively, and then they've got to rely on James Augustine, who has good foot quickness as well as a size advantage on Miles to keep him from controlling the paint.
Well, I agree. Illinois' defense has been very, very underrated this season, and I'll be very interested to see how Bruce Weber uses Darren Williams tonight. If either Garcia or Dean starts going off, I think you got to put Williams on him to turn off his water.
It's interesting you mentioned Bruce Weber, because there is a lot of talk about the Final Four experience where the head coaches are concerned. Bruce Weber has none. Does that make a difference?
In the end, no. I think Illinois has the better players. They've played better all year, and they have too many different ways to win. And I don't think Louisville's strengths correlate well with Illinois' weakness. I like your Illini.
Yeah, Louisville has won a lot of ways, too. They've won in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. They've done it with grit and heart. Both of these teams have those in ample supply. But I like Illinois because I think the big guys up front, Powell Jr., Augustine, and even off the bench, Jack Ingram, are going to come up big. I like the Fighting Illini.
Illinois and Illinois, right?
And Illinois, yes.
All right, gentlemen, coming up, Game 1 of the national semifinals. Louisville taking on Illinois. Our colleagues Jim Nance and Billy Packer set to call the action. We'll see you at the half. Enjoy the game here on CBS, everyone.